So talking to your kids about money may be even harder for some than talking to your kids about sex, especially since family budgets are so tight right now. It's really important to be open and honest, and it may just help them become better prepared for their financial futures. So how do you talk to your kids about the family finances? Howard Dvorkin has some tips this morning in a segment sponsored by Consolidated Credit Counseling. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, so it's going around all the households in South Florida. You know, people are struggling, obviously, and I think, and as in reading your notes on this, kids notice these things in the house, right?
Absolutely. Children have, those little guys running around, they have very big ears. And I know from being a parent that the children pick up on things. And if you don't address it head on, then you have a problem and they start imagining the worst. And things that you may say, even jokingly, oh, we're going to the poorhouse. Well, little ones don't know what the poorhouse is, Dave.
Right.
But they certainly can figure it out or try to figure it out. And they usually do it in such a way that they think the worst case scenario. So you have to be very careful. And in fact, people tend not to want to talk to their children these days, and you know, I think it's a bad idea not to have those conversations, even around the dinner table. Money is such an important part of our lives, and as such, people need to address it head on. So these are lessons that children can carry throughout the rest of their lives.
All right, so you have to have the talk with your kids, but what do you say? How do you approach it?
You basically say, if you're struggling, you basically take the time and say, guys, we are having a little trouble, or maybe even you got laid off from your job. You address it. This is what I'm going to do to make things work and make it easier for the family, but it's going to take some time. So maybe we have to cut back and maybe have them pitch in and do chores that normally they wouldn't do, meaning like cut the grass or help out cleaning around the house or washing cars or something that you used to pay cash for. So involve the family and teach them good lessons that they can carry on.
Right, and then I would imagine you could incorporate that into some sort of allowance plan if you have the money, so you're teaching them the lesson of work and then you'll be rewarded.
Well,
right?
Listen, if you're struggling,
you
you may not want to be giving out allowances, but certainly allowances are a good way to challenge your children to help out around the house, and it's not too early. I know at 6 and 7, my kids are getting allowances every single week, and they come and they have to explain what chores they did for this week. Now, my children may end up mentally deranged because they have me as a father, but
that's another segment for another show. So,
but at the same time, they are going to know what to do about money. There's a great guide on your website and on Consolidated Credit talking about your kids about money, and I suggest that people go into the websites and download that and take a look at that.
I know one of the things that you mentioned that you thought was important was you have to approach it that you're in control of the situation's not in control of you. Right?
Well, absolutely. The children need to be reassured that they have a choice and that you cannot allow outside factors to control your life like money. You need to be in control of your life instead of something else.
And if your financial situation is pretty dire, one thing you could do to help yourself is to consolidate your debt into one payment, right?
Well, absolutely. People need to go through and look and see what their options are. There's plenty of options for people that are in trouble, and debt consolidation is certainly one of those options, but go through and do the research on your website or at consolidatedcredit.org.
Howard Dvorkin, you are the man.
You're the better man.
Well, can't argue with that. Just kidding. Great, good to see you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
And we have a financial section on our website, southflorida.com/money.